I used Emacs for many, many years. And I know, I love Lisp. So a lot of the customization is done in Lisp. It's a programming language. It partially was peer pressure, but part of it is realizing like you need to keep learning stuff. Like the same issue with jQuery. Like I still think I need to learn Node.js, for example.
Yeah.
Even though that's not my main thing or even close to the main thing, but I feel like you need to keep learning this stuff. And even if you don't choose to use it long term, you need to give it a chance. So your understanding of the world expands.
Yeah, you want to understand the new technological concepts and see if they can benefit you. It would be stupid not to even try.
It's more about the concepts, I would say, than the actual tools, like expanding. And that can be a challenging thing. So going to VS Code and like really learning it, like all the shortcuts, all the extensions, and actually installing different stuff and playing with it. That was an interesting challenge. It was uncomfortable at first.
Yeah, for me too. Yeah.
Yeah, but you just dive in.
It's like neuroflex. Like you keep your brain fresh, like this kind of stuff.
I got to do that more. Like, have you given React a chance?
No, but I want to learn it. I understand the basics, right? I don't really know where to start.
But would you I guess you got to use your own model, which is like build the thing using it.
No, man, so I kind of did that. Like I kind of like the stuff I do in jQuery is essentially a lot of it is like I start rebuilding whatever tech is already out there, not based on that, but just on accident.
Yeah.
Like I keep coding long enough that I start getting the same problems everybody else had, and you start building the same frameworks kind of. So I use my own kind of framework of.
So you basically build a framework from scratch that's your own, that you understand it.
Kind of, yeah, with Ajax calls, but essentially it's the same thing. Look, I don't have the time. I think saying you don't have the time is like always a lie because you just don't prioritize it enough. My priority is still like the running the businesses and improving that and AI. I think learning AI is much more valuable now than learning a front end framework.
Yeah,
like it's just more impact.
I guess you should be just learning every single day a thing.
Yeah, you can learn a little bit every day, like a little bit of React, or I think now like Next is very big, so learn a little bit of Next, But I call them the military industrial complex. So but you need to know it anyway. So
you gotta learn how to use the weapons of war, and then you could be a peacenik. Yeah. I mean, but you gotta learn it in the same exact way as we were talking about, which is learn it by trying to build something with it and actually deploy it.
The frameworks are so complicated and it changes so fast. So it's like, where do I start? And I guess it's the same thing when you're starting out making websites. Like, where do you start? Yeah, it's GPT-4, I guess. But it's just so dynamic. It changes so fast that I don't know if it would be a good idea for me to learn it. Maybe some combination of like Vue Next with PHP Laravel. Laravel is like a framework for PHP. Mm-hmm. I think that would be. It could benefit me. Maybe Tailwind for CSS, like a styling engine. That stuff could probably save me time.
Yeah, but like you won't know until you really give it a try, and it feels like you have to build. Like, if maybe I'm talking to myself, but like I should probably recode like my personal one page in Laravel, or and even though it might not have almost any dynamic elements, maybe have one dynamic element, but it has to go end to end in that framework.
Yeah.
Or like end to end build it in Node.js. Some of it is figuring out how to even deploy the thing.
Like, I have no idea. All I know is right now it's send it to GitHub and it sends it to my server. I don't know how to get JavaScript running. I have no clue.
Yeah.
So I guess I need like a pass, like Versal, right? Or Heroku, kind of those kind of platforms.
I actually kind of just gave myself the idea of like, I kind of just want to build a single web page, like one web page that has like one dynamic element, and just do it in every single, like in a lot of frameworks, like just
on the same page,
same
same page,
kind of page.
That's a cool project. Like, you can learn all these frameworks.
Yeah,
and you can see the differences.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
How long it takes to do it.
Yeah, stopwatch.
I have to figure out actually something sufficiently complicated, because it should probably do some kind of thing where it accesses the database and dynamically is changing stuff.
Some AI stuff, some LLM stuff.
Yeah, maybe some. It doesn't have to be AI LLM, but maybe
do API call.
API call to something.
to replicate, for example, and then you have that would be a very cool project.
Yeah, and like time it, and also report on my happiness.
Yeah,
I'm going to totally do this.
Because nobody benchmarks this. Nobody's benchmarked developer happiness with frameworks.
Yeah.
Nobody's benchmarked the shipping time.
I would just take like a month and do this. How many frameworks are there? There's how many? There's like 5 main ways of doing it. So there's back end, front end.
And this stuff confused me too. Like React now apparently has become backend,
Yeah.
or something that used to be only front end, and you're forced to do now backend also. I don't know.
And then, but you're not really forced to do anything. So like, according to the internet, so like there's no, it's actually not trivial to find the canonical way of doing things. So like the standard vanilla, like you go to the ice cream shop, there's like a million flavors. I want vanilla. If I've never had ice cream in my life, can we just like learn about ice cream?
Yeah.
I want vanilla. Nobody actually, sometimes they'll literally name it vanilla, but like, I want to know what's the basic way, but not like dumb, but like the standard canonical.
Yeah, I want to know the dominant way. Like the dominant 60% of developers do it like this.
Yeah.
It's hard to figure that out, you know? That's the problem.
Yeah, maybe LLMs can help. Maybe you should explicitly ask, what is the dominant?
They usually know like the dominant. You know, they give answers that are like the most probable kind of.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to ask LLM. And I think honestly, maybe what would help is if you want to learn, or I would want to learn like a framework, hire somebody that already does it and just sit with them and make something together. Like I've never done that, but I thought about it. So that would be a very fast way to, you know, take their knowledge, put it in my brain.
I've tried these kinds of things. What happens is, it depends what kind of, if they're like a world-class developer, yes. Oftentimes they themselves are used to that thing and they have not themselves explored in other options. So they have this dogmatic, like talking down to you.
Yes.
Like, this is the right way to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, no. We're just like exploring together. Okay, show me the cool thing you've tried. Which is like, it has to have open-mindedness to like, Node.js is not the right way to do web development. It's like one way. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with the old LAMP, PHP, jQuery, vanilla JavaScript way. It just has its pros and cons, and like you need to know what.
Yeah, but those people exist. You could find those people probably.
Yeah.
Like if you want to learn AI, imagine you have Karpati sitting next to you, teaching you like he does his YouTube videos. It's amazing. He can teach it to like a 5-year-old about how to make LLM. It's amazing. Like imagine this guy sitting next to you and just teaching you like, let's make an LLM together. Like holy shit, it would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, well, Comparative has its own style and his own, like, I'm not sure he's for everybody. For example, 5-year-old, it depends on the 5-year-old.
Yeah, but
he's like super technical.
But he's amazing because he's super technical and he's the only one who can explain his stuff in a simple way, which shows his complete genius.
Yes,
because if you can explain it without jargon, you're like, wow.
And build it from scratch.
Yeah, it's like top tier, you know, like what a guy.
But he might be anti-framework because he builds from scratch.
Exactly. Yeah, actually, probably is. Yeah.
He's like you, but for AI.
Yeah, so maybe learning a framework is a very bad idea for us. You know, maybe we should stay in PHP and like Script Kiddie and.
But you have to, maybe by learning the framework, you learn what you want to yourself build from scratch.
Yeah, maybe you learn concepts, but you don't actually have to start using it for your life, right? Yeah.